Hello, this is Alicia Hall's video submission for the participation self-assessment. So I feel like in 5 minutes I could probably answer most of these questions. So my strengths in the course, I would say, are my, I don't have a lot of fear about speaking up, public speaking, having my video on. I'm really attached to that level of engagement. That also ends up bringing up a challenge for me as well in my own self-assessment, that I am been trying to let go of needing other people to follow the same expectations that I have built for college. This is my second career. I know that a lot of people that are half my age have a very different experience of life. And I am still very attached to the feeling that engagement is really important to build social skills, and especially if you're going to be a social worker. That being said, just like with clients, it's not my place to tell you how you're supposed to learn, or, you know, what's okay if the teachers are allowing things like videos being off during presentations, or being able to skip one of the DL days. You know, that's not up for me to decide. But I personally am taking all of this very seriously, and it does kind of bother me when others, it's not that they're not taking it seriously, but they've got other things going on. And I know this is a DL program, and I'm grateful you guys are making it so accessible. But I did struggle with that, and ways that I dealt with it was, in my group, I invited my group to challenge them to each have a speaking part in our video presentation, on Zoom. But I also, we were doing some interviews. That's just how it happened. It wasn't really part of our plan. But we were doing some interviews, and a couple of people were concerned or scared to do an interview. And they kind of put me in charge. They didn't ask for, but I just said, it's not up to me to decide, but I would invite everybody to try it out and challenge yourself, but if it's something that's really anxiety provoking, then, that's up for you to decide if it's okay for you. And in that regard, another way of helping, my fellow cohort in group settings was just checking in with people about, they ended up putting me mostly in charge because it was my idea for our group project. But I also wanted to make sure that their opinions were heard, and like, how do they want to do things? Because I really wasn't trying to take control. That is something that does end up coming up for me often, is that I just want to get things done. And sometimes that appears like I want to be in control, or I want to be in charge. I actually don't want to be in charge. I don't want to be in charge. But it happens. And I think that's part of an outgoing nature, or commanding. I'm not trying to be, but I am direct and I am clear, and I'm here to enjoy. So what am I taking from this class and next steps for my career as a social worker? The community organizing stuff was really helpful. It reminded me of the skills that I do have in organizing, and also areas that I could benefit learning more about. And this class helped me with that, with different ways of getting people's attention, who, like, your target audience, and how to get involvement and engagement. And I think, and to me, that ties into things I have challenged with direct service, which is motivation. How do you motivate people? Probably one of the hardest ones. My attendance and participation were, like I said, I'm committed to this, so it was not that hard for me to show up to every class, to show up to every in-person class. I think that I might have made a couple mistakes on timing of things, maybe something late. But yeah, the class is set up for success, so you just have to get everything done. I appreciated your flexibility, very much so. Talked about my challenges. I really appreciated our textbook, as I said, in class. She really educated us a lot on the challenges of organizing and also different ways to look at things and communicate with people. I really appreciate hearing all of that. And I am still curious again about motivation and how to get people more involved. And I would give myself an A in this class. I've put forth a lot of effort. I really enjoyed all the projects. I would say the concept of photo voice, and the supportive theories behind the value of that is really monumental, especially while also taking a ethnic studies course this year where I heavily focused on Native American peoples and their experiences during colonial times when we had the boarding schools and religious pressure. So there's a big connection there with, how to make change, and photo voice is obviously a really big connector to pictures like, a boarding school, and you're like, oh, what does that even look like? And then you're seeing, like, I saw videos, which is similar, to the photo voice, just a video of watching, because I'm hypersensitive, which is great for a social worker, or like I'm very aware, and I'm just watching going, it's a video, and just seeing how these other Native Americans are interacting with, like, the head, of the school, a white guy, and they look so uncomfortable, but they look like they had to do it. And so then still photos of that video are really monumental to make you think without a lot of talk. And that's why I like photo voice, because, I would love to see a photo voice on trauma, because there's so much talk of trauma, but there's really not a lot telling us what to do. It's just like regurgitating the same things about trauma. So anyway, I could go on and on. Thank you so much for the class, and I appreciate being able to do this as a video submission. Thank you so much, and I hope you have more classes that I can take in the future. All right, thank you so much.